Hey guys, Lee Donna here. Today I wanted to do a short video to introduce authors to some potentially new to them tools that have been very helpful to me and my publishing journey. Now, I consider these resources as big ticket items, not because of their cost, but in terms of the value that they provide to authors. In many of the cases, the companies that I will talk about today were created by authors for authors. And that's why these programs work as well as they do. Another thing that is going to be a common theme today, and it is especially true of the first company we are going to talk about, which is Bookfunnel. Each of these, the reason that I find them to have so much value is not only in what they are capable of doing for you as an author, but the ease of use. I am going to tell you right now, I left the post office yesterday with tears in my eyes. And when I told my husband about the situation last night, I couldn't help but to cry. I'm cognitively on a decline. It's actually a struggle, and I'm still trying to joke about it. But I could not get the card reader to work, and I was trying to mail out some books. And I'm going to get emotional now if I talk about it. The machine is beeping at me. It's lighting up. It's doing all these things. I don't know if I'm supposed to swipe, read the chip, tap something. And the lady behind the desk was not amused, and she had to come all the way around to help with this machine. And it was like a really traumatic experience. So when I am going through this list of companies today, and I am telling you that I am not a technology person, I am telling you, I am not a technology person. So if I can use these programs to do all the wonderful things that they do, so can you. And just consider I am the lowest bar. So if you are like me and you're having these different issues and people start talking about pixels and widgets and you just go completely blank, I'm there with you. These programs will help you, and they're going to give you great directions. And the folks at Bookfunnel do this better than anyone. They need to be writing the instructions for everything from toasters to submarines. These guys know what they're doing, and the directions are so easy to follow. And Bookfunnel is this program that is so important to you as an author. This does not matter if you are an indie author, if you are a traditionally published author, or a hybrid author. You can use tools and features from Bookfunnel to further your career. Now, I am going to actually go directly to their website and read you their tagline. Okay, so Bookfunnel, directly from their website. Bookfunnel is the essential tool for your author business, whether it's delivering your reader magnet, sending out advanced copies of your book, handing out ebooks at a conference, or fulfilling your digital sales to readers. Bookfunnel does it all. Just like you, we are in the business of making readers happy. Let us help you build your author career no matter where you are in your journey. Now, two things that stand out to me right away when they say that they are the essential tool, they definitely are the essential tool. And another great thing about Bookfunnel, when they say that they want to help you, when you are reading their directions, you can really feel that. Bookfunnel definitely has a desire to see you as an author succeed. And that's why they write the directions the way that they write them. They don't assume coming in that every author out there is going to understand all of the industry terms. And so they explain all of these things to you, and they don't do it in a snarky way. Sometimes you see directions that it's like, that was a little bit of shade that they threw there. But Bookfunnel doesn't do that. They really, truly have set up their system to accommodate you. And that only helps them because it eliminates so many customer service calls. There's nothing on Bookfunnel that you probably can't figure out on your own. And if you do happen to need their customer service team, they are there to help you. So for yourself, you can feel comfortable and rest assured that Bookfunnel has your back. And it's also for your customers, because one of the greatest things that they do is allow you to deliver ebook and audiobook sales directly to consumers. Any creative has an issue when it comes to making money. We don't get a lot in book royalties. Artists and musicians, everybody kind of is in the same space when we have to have third-party sellers. Bookfunnel allows you to sell directly, and you don't even have to have a website to do this. So Bookfunnel isn't only the gold standard when it comes to directions, but they are the gold standard when it comes to direct sales models. If you have a website, it's very easy to sell. You can use PayPal, and they have great instructions on how to set up your PayPal account to work with Bookfunnel. You can use Shopify, and I know that there are some other platforms that they have integrations with. I'm not going to list all of those because I only know Shopify and PayPal because those are the two that I use, but it's extremely easy. So choose which route that you want to go, what's going to suit you. And if it's just simply having a PayPal link for people to go to, and when they pay, automatically Bookfunnel is going to send them a book. So there's nothing for you to do on the back end. You just set everything up, and then it's an automation that Bookfunnel not only handles, but they set up a library for your reader. And then your reader can read your books on any device, including their e-readers. Okay, so if you have somebody that says, well, I can't buy direct from the consumer because I only read on this device that I have from this particular company, the folks at Bookfunnel, again, the gold standard in absolutely everything that you need, they have directions on how these people can load those books into that device and read them from there. They can also read on their phones, on their laptops. There are reading apps. And again, they have a reader library, so they can go back and access these books if they want to even sideload them onto different devices and things like that. Basically, if your customer wants to build a rocket ship, Bookfunnel can probably tell them how to do that as well. So no worries with customer service there. And again, you can do that with ebooks and audiobooks. So it's really, really a huge benefit to you as the author to be able to sell directly. It takes very little time to load your book. I have to admit, I'm not great at reading directions, and I really should, considering my situation. But basically, once you set up your book, you load your ebook files or your audiobook files, and then you set up actions for those books. And you might have an action that sells through Shopify, one that sells through PayPal. You can even do your exclusive list or private list. I have a Patreon, so I have actions set up that when somebody joins Patreon, they can get my books, and it's a matter of them clicking, and then Bookfunnel will verify that the email address that they are using syncs with the parameters that you set, and then they deliver those books. And again, this is all automated. You spend a little bit of time setting this up on your side, and then everything happens automatically. And if any problems arise with the customer, Bookfunnel is there to help them. So they're doing all of the heavy lifting for you in that arena. So for that alone, Bookfunnel is worth it. But this is not all that they are doing. If you have an ARC team, you hear the term ARC quite often, and it stands for Advanced Reader Copy. This is typically before your book launches, you are going to send it out to a certain number of people, and usually it's to get reviews. Sometimes it is you have a group of people, they are your sensitivity readers or just feedback readers. There's a lot of different terms and reasons that people will use this, but you can set up a list within Bookfunnel and then load your books, and it automatically sends to them as well. Reader magnets, Bookfunnel delivers those, and a reader magnet is simply a sample of your work, anywhere from a short story to a full-length novel. Again, you set up the book, and typically the reader magnet is a free book that you are offering to people, and the draw is to get them to sign up for your newsletter list. I know that Bookfunnel integrates with different newsletter services. So whatever you are using, I currently use MailChimp, and you set everything up, they integrate, and it's all automatic. I can't explain it to you, but it's magic. It happens. It works. People can sign up and they can get any free book that you have to offer. And this goes as well for the swaps that Bookfunnel facilitates. But they have a promotions tab, and you can join with other authors either in setting up your own promotion or just joining one that's already there, and find other authors where all of you get one link to all of your books, and you can share that on your social media, in your newsletters, and cross promote each other. And the terms of what people have to do for those books will be different. Some of them might be situations to just get sales, and others might be to get people to join a mailing list. So Bookfunnel, from start to finish, anything that you could think of doing, they have you covered as far as distribution is concerned. I had to say that word like 3 times. I'm going to cut it out, but words are not always my friend. So using Bookfunnel for your direct sales, you can sell on your website, you can sell at conferences, festivals, or you can even meet a person in a dark alley and sell them a book. And something that I think is really cool is Bookfunnel has something called print codes. So they will give you a number of codes that you can give that person a code, and they go to, I believe the website is Get My Book, something like that. But they go there, they input the code, and they get whatever book that you sold them at the conference or the festival. I have some little cards printed up, so I could do this and get somebody with better handwriting than me to input the codes. But you could also print the codes onto stickers. You can sell those print codes to a local bookshop if they want to be able to sell ebooks, but they're not set up to do that. You can allow them to sell your books, sell them the entire sheet of codes where they can maybe put them on their own business cards or something like that. You can design the card specifically for them just as an added perk. Or you can do it on consignment and just take a percentage of whatever the sales are. And of course, you can always use those print codes to give somebody a free book. Maybe if you're stuffing goodie bags or you're working some sort of an event, it would be really easy just to put these codes onto some kind of a card, drop it in the bags, and then people can go and get a free book later. And again, when you're doing that, you can require people to join your newsletter list to get the book or not. And Bookfunnel also has an option for you to enter an email address or a group of email addresses to automatically send your books to as well. So if you are out at an event and you don't have the print codes ready, but you just did a sign up sheet or something to let people put their email addresses down, you could do that. So along with Bookfunnel and everybody else that I'm going to talk about today, I will have links to those websites in the description of this video. The next company we are going to talk about is Sirens. This is a review service. On their website, they say that you can launch your books with more reviews, get more Amazon, Goodreads, and BookBub reviews from your ARC readers and our community of 20,000 plus book reviewers and influencers. Again, ease of use is what makes me love Sirens. I had a few questions when I uploaded my first couple of books, and basically I asked the question and then their response was, okay, we took care of it. So that works really great for me. But another huge benefit is their service is very affordable compared to other services that are out there. Please do not spend hundreds and thousands of dollars to get reviews. Before you would even consider doing anything like that, check out a service like Sirens, because they do vet their reviewers and they have a very high percentage of people downloading your book, leaving reviews. They have time limits for their readers, and they really follow up with people to make sure that if they're going to download your book and they're going to be part of the Sirens program, that they are going to follow through with their side of the terms of the agreement, which is we're going to read this author's work for free to leave an honest review. And something that I find particularly helpful with Sirens is they have a database where every reviewer has a profile, and you can go in and you can look at what genres they read and other statistics on how that person reviews. And it's broken down by genre, age range, small publishers versus large, and a lot of other factors. And it really gives you insight to the person reviewing your book. And also, because they have this database, you can go and look and send your book specifically to certain reviewers, the ones that you think are going to be beneficial to you in your career for whatever reason that you may have to be choosing that person. I am not currently using that. I've gone in and I've looked at a few profiles, and it is on my priority list to get that done and send my books to specific reviewers. But right now I'm letting Book Sirens do all the heavy lifting for me. They are doing an excellent job of promoting my work. I set the number of downloads that I want. They have a couple of options that you can use, but I'm setting a certain number of downloads that'll be my maximum. And then you just pay when you pay to put your book on their site. It's like $10. And then you pay for any person that downloads your book up to the number of downloads that you've said that you will allow. And they have been really great. If you have somebody that can't finish your book, like I've had some people say, we're sorry, but this life event happened or whatever. When that happens, Book Sirens usually gives you a credit, and they're just a really good company to work with because they are proactive in what they're doing. They're really building a solid review service. And I think it's amazing because their reviewers are very spot on with their reviews, whether it's something that I feel about the book and I can see that coming out in the reviews, or just in general, it gives you a good sampling. What I've found is the reviews that you get through Bookfunnel are a very good sampling of the types of reviews that you're going to get in the real world. And they do have a range of readers. Some review services that are out there, they maybe have a lot of reviewers signed up, but it's very heavily toward one genre or the other. And if you are in those genres, it's great. If you have, a lot of us have these middle books that sort of live in this no man's land. And I feel like Book Sirens has a good sampling of what I would call true fans and readers, because their reviews really do seem to stack up with the real world reviews from the general readership that you have. So anyway, I really like Book Sirens. You do get a high percentage of reviews. You can list all of the places that you would like them to leave reviews. They are not required to leave in all of those places, but the reviewers will generally review in at least one of those places. And again, to a very high percentage. So you're not going to feel like I had 1,000 downloads and I only received 5 reviews. They have a very high percentage. So whatever numbers you set, you're going to get really close to that. So check out Book Sirens and use that to curate your list of reviewers. I will get there eventually using Book Sirens to its full potential because I've only scratched the surface and I already love this company and the way that they have their business model set up. So I'm really excited to do business with them in the future, and they are my review service of choice. Before you get to Bookfunnel or Book Sirens, you first need to write your book. And after you write your book, you then have to format it. Atticus has you covered on both of those fronts. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about writing in Atticus because I don't do that. I write in Word. I've tried a couple of times to go back and forth with Atticus, and maybe eventually I'll get there because I see the merit of writing in a program like that. But I'm old and I'm usually tired, and I tend to just fall back on what is familiar to me, and that is Word. So I'm going to speak to the formatting front and very briefly, because I do not have technical terms. What I'm going to tell you about the formatting is that Atticus pays for itself in one book. There are other free formatting tools out there, and I did try all of those. And all I ended up with in the end was a headache and no book that was formatted. So I would have to hire the formatting out. And the problem with hiring a formatter is that for someone like me, I could not then change those files. If I found a typo or I wanted to add something into the back matter of the book, I couldn't do that. I was out of luck. But with Atticus, I can make a change, download the new file to my computer, and then upload it to all of the retailers. And that is going to happen within the matter of hours. Okay, so it's a highly, highly valuable tool. And I, again, common theme, did not read the directions. I also did not watch any of the mini videos that they have out on how to use Atticus. So jumping in was not a great idea, but that's exactly what I did. I just jumped in, poked around, followed screen prompts, and I was able to format a manuscript. Then I formatted another. Then I did a box set, and then I did another box set. Did it take me longer than it should have? Yes, absolutely. Did I hit roadblocks along the way? 100%. And I was not happy when I did. But I was able to figure out what I did wrong relatively quickly. And the very first book that I formatted, I think I worked on it maybe 3 hours one day and 3 hours the next day. So 6 hours of my time is all it took for me to do this. It was amazing. And I can change that manuscript anytime I want, go in and make any little edits that I need to. Updating the back matter is a huge deal just to keep your list of other books that you have up to date, any email address changes, website changes, things like that. So it's a really amazing tool to have. And it feels really, really good to be in complete control of your book as far as design and all these things. And I'm doing everything pretty plain, keeping it very simple, but I see the potential with Atticus to do some pretty great things moving forward. And again, as creators, it's very difficult to make money. So keeping our overhead down is pretty imperative. And Atticus is going to absolutely help you do that. When you look at my skill set and I was able to use this, I think it's definitely something that's going to work for you. Get Atticus, read the directions, watch the videos, and then format your own books. All right, next we are going to talk about Canva. This is a design tool. Now, you can design anything from documents, websites, whiteboards, videos, print products. You can do presentation, but probably the two things that would speak most to an author is going to be the social media posting and the ability to do book covers. And actually, I just did, Amazon has that A+ content, and I was able to design a little banner that was just approved for that. So I'm kind of messing around with those things. So for any of that, Canva is a really nice tool. They have a free version and they have a paid version. Start with the free version and see what all you can do with it, what you like, and how to use and navigate it. And then if you have the money and you want to do the pro version, you can do that. But it may not be necessary for what you're using it for. One thing, so first of all, let me say that you do not have to be on social media in order to sell books. I know that's a big thing that's out there. And, right now, book talk is all the rage and everybody wants to start TikTok. I thought about it for about 25 minutes and I talked to one of my nieces about what it is, how to use it, and it just seems tiring to me. And your readers will pick up on that. You're not going to get engagement with people if they can feel your disdain for something. So don't do it if you don't want to. Now, if you do want to, you are going to be like me. You're going to join Facebook and you're going to join Instagram and Twitter. I have some other ones that I stopped using, but those three I will post on. And you're going to find out really quickly that when you design a post, all of those platforms want it to be in a different size. Canva has a resizing tool that makes that really helpful. And they actually have preset templates and designs and things. You can just click on what you want to do. And they usually have some presets there. I will tell you, when you design something, you touch the screen and kind of draw a big box around everything. It puts boxes around all the elements. And then up in the top right corner, it says group. So you want to group all those together before you resize, because once you resize, if you don't do that, it's going to look kind of wonky and you're going to have to reposition everything again. But if you group them all together, you can resize the image and it's just a little bit easier. That's something that I was having a problem with and just recently figured out later that that is how to fix that problem. So anyway, whatever you want to do, Canva is there. I do not design book covers on it because I am not a graphic artist, and my cover designer can tell you I basically send her vision boards and then she makes my covers. But I try seriously every time before I send anything to her. I see a cover in my head and I think I'm going to do a really great mock-up on Canva. It never works, but there are authors out there using Canva to do just this. Now, on my box sets, so I have a 4-book box set, and then I have one that is a trilogy. My cover designer is doing the main box set covers. So the complete collections, I'm going to let her do those. But when I package things together to put on Kindle Unlimited, so in the 4-book box set, I'm going to I have packaged together the first 3 books, and I did use Canva to do the cover for that 3-book collection, as well as I used them to do a 2-book collection for the trilogy. And the reason I did that is because it's only going to be on Amazon. If you were Kindle Unlimited, it only belongs to Amazon. So the complete collections will be wide on all retailers, and I want those to be professional. And I also want them to work and me not have to keep going back to the drawing board to figure out why it isn't working. So I'm saying this to say, I think that you should have a cover designer, a professional cover designer, design your covers unless you really can afford to have one. And then you can use Canva for that as well. Okay, now these next 2, I'm just throwing in here. They are not necessary to your author journey at all, but I'm going to put them out here in case you want to use them. I stumbled across these more because I'm going to be starting a podcast. It's going to launch in January. So I've just been putting together videos, learning how to do everything. But I do know that some authors like to do book trailers. Now, again, Canva, you can do videos and you can do book trailers, and they have music. Everything you can need is on Canva. You might have to do the professional version to get access to some of those things that you might want to use. But I wanted to talk about a company called Wondershare Filmora. I started using them for videos. It was a bit of a learning curve to figure out how to use the platform, and I'm still doing so, but I'm having a lot of fun. I've been posting some book ads. They're not trailers, but just doing some fun little ads, especially with my thriller book that's getting ready to release. And I'm just having fun with it. I really enjoy it. So it's out there. It's relatively inexpensive compared to some of the other things that are out there again. But I tried a couple of video platforms, things to edit videos and do special effects and things like that. And I really like them. So far, so good. I did do an audiobook using this company, and I did it. So they have a free version of Filmora, and I was using it when I did the audiobook, because if you're going to upload an audiobook to YouTube, you need a video to go with it. And I was having problems. Canva had time limits and things like that. So I used Filmora, and because I was doing the free version, it had a watermark when I downloaded to put it on YouTube. That was fine for me because it was just the audiobook, not any other kind of content as far as the video that I'm creating. Like the things that I will do for my podcast, I won't want their watermark on those. So when I got to that level, I did the paid version. And again, it's relatively inexpensive compared to some other software that I saw out there. And then to go with that, so in Filmora, you have video clips and music and things like that they have licensed that you can use. But there is a company called Artlist that you can get music and sound effects from. And they also have a video side to them. It's a separate licensing. I had to pay for both of them. For what I am doing, because of the podcast, this was worth it for me to do. You as an author, it is probably not, and I do not recommend you just to sell books to do this, because I think if you got Canva, and you wanted to do even a video ad on Amazon or on Facebook, you can do video ads. I think Canva is more than enough for what your needs are going to be. I just wanted to mention these two because I am using them. I have found value in them, and they're going to be good for me moving forward. And I know a lot of authors do have podcasts. So if you are listening to this and you have a podcast, or you're thinking about starting one, these two things might be something for you to check out. Okay, it is very hot in this room. For some reason, I'm completely out of breath, and I have 3 dogs that need me to go and play with them. So if you want to check out what I'm up to, go to leedawnabooks.com. If you want to send me an email, it is leedawnabooks@gmail.com. Let me know if you have any questions about anything to do with the writing journey, the publishing journey. If I can help you, I will. If I can't, then I can at least point you in the right direction. I will send you to places like the Creative Pen podcast with Joanna Penn, and she will introduce you to a lot of people in the industry that will get you where you need to be in your journey. The Alliance of Independent Authors, as well as the Authors Guild, also are resources for you to tap into that will have all of the information that you need and more. If you are a fan of cryptids, hauntings, or mythology, my new podcast, Immortal Monsters, is going to release on January the 1st. I do have an introductory video up now that's kind of silly, but you can check that out. You can send me your stories at leedawnabooks@gmail.com, and I have some Patreon exclusives that are going to hit probably the 1st of next month, probably one in November, one in December. And then the very first episode that is all about leprechauns will hit Patreon early. It'll be late December, but early as far as the launch date goes. And go ahead and subscribe to this channel because every episode of Immortal Monsters will have a video with it, and you will be able to find those here on this YouTube channel under the Immortal Monsters playlist. All of my books, including audiobooks, are up on Patreon. So if you wanted to go ahead and subscribe to that, you can do so. Now the dogs are here, so it is time for me to go. Bye. My brain doesn't say the right words. Coming from here to here, huge disconnect. Don't know why. It just happens. Words do not come out of my mouth in the order that I want them to.